Pulse mixtapes.
Okay.
Brad Pulse.
Okay. Okay.
Hot air balloon.
Okay.
What is up? Welcome to the Underwater Fly Zone podcast. Foster is back. Welcome
Let's
back.
go.
Excited to see you. Another new setup. Like we talked about this on the first episode.
Yeah.
We're always going to be experimenting until we kind of find what we like.
Mm-hmm.
Did the couch. We did different setups here. I like this so far.
Yeah.
We were talking about, I don't think guests with this one would necessarily work very
No,
well.
probably not.
But so far I'm a fan. I'm chilling with the arm.
Yep.
It's
I like
comfy.
it a lot. You get to see more of the table that I've been working on since college, and you don't notice, but it takes up a lot less room pushing the table back. I mean, a couple feet does a lot. So
We are in the merch room. And
Yeah.
so that is part of it, is finding space that makes sense for the merch.
if you saw behind the camera, it's bad, y'all.
This is probably the most messy it's been since we started recording.
Yeah, I just realized I didn't put the mirror up.
That's fine.
Okay, we'll just roll with it.
Can you see it all the way back there?
Yes, we're good. We're good. Let's get it.
I'm going to start with the comment of the week. This is a fun
Let's
one.
go.
This was last week. Me and Carson did overrated, underrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went on a long rant about peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of crazy. I'm a big peanut M&M guy.
Well, don't worry. You'll get it. Give you a chance. Because
Okay.
McKenna Bleed, one of our most devoted listeners,
Yes.
said, "Boo, Spencer. You are absolutely insane for hating on peanut M&Ms. They are highly underrated and are the best kind ever. 1,000 out of 10 chef's kiss." And I vehemently disagree.
I would say that's a little much. Sorry, McKenna. Like, I love them, but like that
1,000 out of 10?
Yeah, 1,000 out of. I mean, they are great. They are great.
No,
I thought you were hating on them big time, though.
I absolutely was.
Oh my
I think they are so overrated, and I still stand by that strongly.
I'm like 10 out of 10. I'm not 1,000 out of 10. I'm not anything less than the 10.
I
out of
talked
10.
about this at work, and by the way, her husband agreed with me.
Really.
His favorite was, I think, the caramel. No, mine was the caramel. His was the peanut butter, which is probably my second.
Yeah.
But caramel, I like caramel and peanut butter ones, but the peanut is just not a fan. Not a fan.
Oh, McKenna, that was a good comment though. Thanks
Yeah.
for always engaging. She's always dropping comments
not,
every week.
and not just comments, but like very like clearly you listen and like
Yeah.
form an opinion comments.
Definitely.
So I do really appreciate it. But
Definitely. That's a good one. Hey, hold on. Your dad had a comment of the week. I was not on last week, obviously, so I didn't get to share it. We didn't say Justin Bieber. Is he not on the Mount Rushmore?
I think he should be over Drake.
I
I
also think Drake got a lot of bashing on Drake. If you look at streaming numbers, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was thinking off of, is like, if you look at the numbers, numbers don't lie.
I think I said it with Carson. But if you say a rapper has to be on there, I think he could be in the conversation for that. But that's only if you feel like you have to include rappers. I keep hearing names from people. So many people told me they disagree with Drake.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber is one that hadn't come up, but I think I'd put him over Drake.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of
I'm
people.
no Drake fanboy either. I was actually a Drake hater for a long time. I just think when it comes to streaming numbers, Drake's like up there with the best.
Well,
of them,
I
you
also
know?
didn't think about the fact I brought up my dad's comment with Carson on the episode, who is one of the biggest
Drake fans ever.
So
He
I wasn't
really
gonna get someone
yeah.
to like agree with my dad's comment.
Yeah. Well, your dad said the Beatles too, so if we're doing
Which-
bands, we
which
could do like
we-
Motley Crue and stuff. Which they wouldn't even be on there
Okay,
anyways. That was
thank
just
you,
an
thank you.
example.
I don't-
not putting Beatles and Motley Crue in the same.
I don't think
category.
we were thinking. I think we were thinking individuals.
Yeah.
I think the Beatles probably would have been the number one band
Yeah.
if we were thinking bands off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
or in the conversation. But I wasn't thinking bands.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was a fun comment.
That
That is,
was.
I like, again, an appreciative someone who listened.
Yeah, shout out
had a
Harry
thought.
Harris, best coach of all time.
Absolutely. So jumping into the game for this week, we are doing. Have you seen Keep 3, Cut 5?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a few categories here. We'll see
Oh goodness.
if we want to do all three of them.
Yep.
But I'm going to say the category, and then I'll say things one by one. You are keeping 3 of them, cutting 5 of them.
So there's
But,
okay.
So there's 8, but
Yeah.
once you choose keep or cut, it's there.
Okay.
So the first category is superpowers. The first superpower is super strength. So whether you say keep or cut, it stays there.
Yeah.
So you only have 3 slots to keep, and
Yeah.
you don't know if gonna get better, get worse.
Mm-hmm.
So superpowers, I got 8 superpowers here. We're starting with super strength. Will you keep-
1,000% keep super strength.
Yeah.
Think of all the jobs you can do, and think of all the protection. You know, if someone breaks in your house, they're cooked. You know, like
Yeah, I feel like you could use most superpowers for that kind of.
you know
thing,
that
though.
might be true. I'm still keeping it though.
Okay. I don't think it's a wrong pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you only got 2 keeps left, 5 cuts.
Yeah.
Next one is invisibility.
I'm cutting it.
Okay.
So I'm one of the 5 cuts is invisibility.
Yeah.
I just don't know what I
Just
I
not
feel like that's like
interested?
some spine stuff, and I just
Yeah.
don't care enough.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I think like if you want to be a superhero, you could get usefulness out of it. But if
Yeah.
you're looking for like practicality of day to day,
Yeah.
yeah, there's not as much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have 1 keep, 1 cut so far. Next one is super intelligence.
I already have that, so I mean, I'm joking. I would say keep that
Okay.
because I don't have that. Hey, there's a quote that'll be on my list next week. An idiot in motion will
No,
go
don't spoil.
farther. Well, this I'm probably not putting it on the
Okay.
list.
Okay.
An idiot in motion will go further than a genius at rest. That's my life. But I'm not an idiot, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't
Like
I
it-
didn't know all the stuff behind the scenes here, but just put it in motion.
Trying and doing something is
Yeah.
better than being able to know.
So the
thing.
point is if I had super intelligence, bro,
Put it together.
I'd be so
So you're
down.
keeping that. So you've only got 1 keep left. And
I'm
you're
a
cutting,
strong, smart guy right now.
You're cutting 4 of the last 5. You have super
Okay.
strength, super intelligence. The next one, flight.
I'm good on that. Cut
Cutting
it.
flight.
Yeah, I don't need to fly. I mean, that'd be cool, right? Like,
Yeah.
get to. Oh, I got a speaking gig in Omaha.
That'd be fun.
Next Tuesday, I'll be up there.
Yeah. Well, speaking gig in Omaha, the next one is teleportation.
I'm still cutting it. I
Cutting
feel like
it.
there's a better one coming.
Okay. And there might not be.
There might not be.
There could be
it's a
worse.
risk.
I felt like teleportation was one that you would like.
I would like it.
What does it change if the teleportation includes anything you're touching?
It still would be no because I would
Okay.
need to be touching like 8 boxes. I mean, if I
You
lay
just go back.
across-
Well, no, you take 2 boxes, teleport to downtown days. You 2 boxes.
Oh.
Yeah. You go
yeah,
back
okay,
and
then
forth.
that might have been a bad cut. but I'm not-
because we haven't moved on. I'm not saying you have to.
Yeah,
But does
I'm
that
still gonna cut it
Okay.
because I actually like driving.
Okay.
So
I do too.
yeah.
I didn't know if the like practicality of not having
No, that
the
does
drive
sound
time.
nice. That sounds and oh.
Do you know
when
how
I get to
many-
the event
Do you know how
too,
many
like,
events you would do in Dallas?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep it. After
Okay,
all, he talked
okay,
me. He sold
okay.
me on it. I'm
Okay.
taking it after
So-
all. I'm cutting everything else.
So, you kept
I feel like I'm gonna be mad.
you
though.
kept super strength, super intelligence, and teleportation.
See, I almost wish I didn't keep super strength with teleportation because one of the biggest things was carrying all the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be true, but hey, that's part of the game.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And I do think all 3 of those are very practical for what you do. But
Yeah.
you cut invisibility, you cut flight, you cut healing,
Dang. See, that's what I would have kept right
you
there.
cut mind reading,
Ah, dang, that's fine.
and you cut time manipulation.
Huh. Explain that one.
You can pause time, you can speed up time, you can slow it down.
you go
you
back
can
into time?
rewind time.
Oh, wow. So that's
Yeah.
probably the best one right there.
I think it's got the most potential, but I also honestly sometimes I think like time travel is like risky because there are the things where it's like, would you rather have 2 million today or go back to being in your 10-year-old body with what you know now?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, I think that would be tough to be a 10-year-old without it, or to go back. Like, what are the chances, the risks of it, and stuff like
Yeah.
that? And time manipulation is a little different than time travel.
I was just talking to one of my business friends about this last night, how sometimes the biggest losses you could ever take started out as the biggest win you ever had. Like this guy, he had a business and he got put into Walmart, 500 Walmart stores his product got put into, and he had to spend all this money on, labeling and transporting, all this stuff he didn't consider at first, but he's in Walmart, so cool. He's in 500 stores. That sounds like a great win, right? Well, his main plug or whatever they call it went on, leave because she had a baby. Never came back. The new person didn't like him and cut him. So he put all this money into this. It sounded like the biggest win ever. He ended up losing tens of thousands of dollars and nothing really ever came of it.
That does suck.
So isn't that crazy? Like you would go back in time and
You would say don't
Yeah.
put your thing in 500 Walmarts. And that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually offered him 2,000, but he said I can only handle 500.
But also vice versa. You go back and you're like, oh, I've got to do this thing. And then all of a sudden, like somehow this tiny thing in 4th grade puts you and Macy never meet. You
Yeah,
do this thing
true.
that you know should
True.
turn into a win, but it affects things you didn't think it would.
Yeah, that's facts.
So that's
true.
I think time travel is very dangerous.
that is true.
All right, the next category is things to have in your house. So
Mm-hmm.
this is rooms, items, things,
Yep.
whatever. So still keep 3, cut 5. Starting with a pool. Pool in your backyard.
Talking to the pool guy here.
You know the deal.
I'm gonna cut it, just because I've never had one and I've been all right.
I also think it's you can find a friend with a pool. You know,
True. And you don't have
Honest-
to do any maintenance.
honestly, I don't know if I'll ever. One, it is expensive to get a pool built.
Yeah.
But like, I'll just find a friend with a pool. you
Yeah.
know?
I'd rather buy a boat, to be honest. I just have always been a lake
That's
guy.
fair.
So
All right,
I'm
then.
gonna cut. I'm gonna cut.
Cut
that
and
one.
pool. That's probably a better start than last time. Getting rid of one of your keeps early.
Yeah, I honestly was too excited.
Yeah,
I just
that's
took
fair.
the first one.
All right. Next one is theater room.
I've just cut. I haven't watched. I don't watch TV very often.
Really?
Yeah.
Those theater rooms are cozy though.
They
for
are
people,
cool.
For people who would use them, and like the houses I've been to with them, very nice. The
Yeah.
big recliners, dark room.
We were at Gunnar Griffin's house for the Super Bowl. I think you were there. It was a long time ago. Seahawks versus Broncos. I think the Seahawks won by like 50. Can't remember what year it was, but we were watching it in their theater room, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Like I love a good theater room. But
Yeah. Shout
all
out
right,
Gunnar Griffin, man. Let's
next
go.
one, basketball court. We'll call it a full court.
I'm going to. Now, are we talking about my house?
Yeah. Things to have in your home.
I'm gonna
Not
cut.
necessarily this one, but just in general.
In
like,
general.
Like if you're building a house, kind
Okay.
of like things you
I
want
would-
to
I
include in a
would-
dream house.
At my house I'm in right now, I'm cutting it because that's gonna take up my whole backyard.
Right. No. Not.
I would
In,
keep
like-
it if I had a bigger house and I was building a house. So,
Go with that one. Like in a dream, like assuming you can
Yeah,
find
yeah.
the space that's not inconvenient.
well, then I
for any
might
of
have said
these.
yes to pool. Then,
Not too late.
yeah, I'm gonna cut it just for that reason.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut it as well.
I guess if that's how you want to think, you actually,
Yeah.
yeah, think about it however you
because
want.
I'm probably never moving out of here, so I might as well think realistically.
fair.
Yeah.
This is the dream home.
Yes.
Next
no,
one.
It actually is.
So you have 3 keeps, 2 cuts left. All
Yeah,
of a
I'm,
sudden you
I'm on
flip
the
table.
positive end. Here.
Next one is a game room.
I'm not gonna cut everything. I'm gonna keep it because I
Okay.
have 3, and that would be fun when people come over.
It's a good hosting thing.
We're keeping it. That's a
you-
good one.
Okay. Keeping game room. Next one, hot tub.
I'm keeping that too. I just now I'm on the negative end again, but I'm keeping it.
I almost said it earlier with the pool, but I stopped. I'll find a friend at the pool, but I'll have the hot tub.
Yeah,
That's
for
a
sure.
like you can have people over for it, but that's a nice thing for a couple people.
Oh, you
Whereas
can
a pool,
bet.
I
Yeah.
always see as a social thing.
You can bet when I finally am in a better financial situation, I'm calling Jace Bleed. I already told him 5-year plan.
Yeah. All
Jace
right.
Bleed sells hot tubs. Shout out.
So
He was
you-
on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. You have now kept game room and hot tub.
Yep.
You have 1 keep, 2 cuts left.
Oof.
The next one is a huge kitchen.
Huge kitchen. Gosh, now I'm gonna use all my keeps because I'm thinking for Macy. You know,
Up to you. I can't tell you what's
I'm gonna
going
keep it.
Okay.
I,
So you
I
kept
am,
the so you're cutting the
that
last 2
escalated
without
so quickly.
You're cutting the last 2 without seeing them.
Yeah,
All right. So you kept game room,
I might regret that one. I don't know.
hot tub,
I won't regret that one.
huge kitchen.
Won't regret that one.
I think you nailed what you will think about these.
Okay. Okay.
You cut pool,
Yeah.
you cut theater room,
Yeah.
you cut basketball court,
Yep.
you cut home gym,
No, dude, I would have had that over.
and you cut a conversation pit. Have you seen those?
No.
So it's a curveball because on the last one, I felt like I put a really good one last, and I was ready for you to get to 1 and 1
Yeah.
and think, oh, he has a good one again.
Yeah.
A conversation pit it was a thing in I think like the 80s
Uh-huh.
where you have a space in your living room where your couches are that are sunk in
Yeah.
like a couple feet, and it's nice. Like
That
I'd
is
like
cool.
it, but on the list of like dream things,
Yeah. No, I would take a pool over that. But
exactly.
I would take a gym over the gaming room. So
Yeah, I think you
I went 2
almost
for
got
3.
your ideal list.
Yeah. That was better than the first one though. Super strength
Totally.
was not it, dude.
Super strength just didn't pan out well.
Yeah.
You were excited to play the game.
I was waiting on you to say super speed, and I was gonna say I already got that like as a joke, and it never came, and it just never happened. Anyways,
All right. We'll do the third category.
Let's do it.
This is things to get for free forever.
Okay.
So the 3 things you keep, you would get free forever, but you would still pay for the other 5.
I already know one that I hope you say.
What is that? I have it written out, so it wouldn't.
Something involving going out to eat or food.
Number 1 is food.
I'm keeping it. Cause dude, that unlocks so much. Me and Macy could go to Wally's any day we want. Jack Stack. I'm thinking small here. If I get it free, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, we're going to 1587 if that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Dude,
All right.
that's it.
Start with
for
a
sure.
key.
That's it right there. I'm
Second
keeping
one?
that.
Gas.
I'm keeping that too. Cause what do I spend money on right now? Food and gas. So I'm keeping both of those.
And merch.
And merch, but that's okay.
All right. So you are keeping 1, cutting 4.
Yeah, it's
The
fine.
next
Those
one?
were the 2 right there.
Concert tickets.
Absolutely cut. I've been to one concert. We already talked about this.
Yeah. That was more for the reference. Go listen to the episode.
Yeah. There you go.
That episode's gotten 2 shout outs this episode already.
Yep. That's a big one,
All right,
man.
the next one, flights.
I'm gonna cut it.
You
If
wanna-
I'm saving money,
You want to
on-
talk about opening opportunities.
Yeah,
No food, no gas, no flights.
that's a good point.
But
I
that
just
does
haven't
cut
flown much.
4 that you've never seen.
Yeah, I haven't flown much, and honestly, if I'm flying, it's probably for a speaking gig, and they're probably paying for the flight anyway. So I'm probably chilling there.
Okay, cutting flights.
I don't really go on trips a whole lot either. I'm locked in over here.
So you got 4 left, 1 keep
Yeah.
left. Next one is hotels.
That's fine.
Cutting.
School's probably paying for that too.
All right, next one, sporting event tickets.
We're keeping that.
Okay.
I don't even care about the rest. We're keeping that. I'm going to every Chiefs game. Macy's never gone to a Chiefs game. Does she count? Am I paying for hers?
I would say 2 tickets to any sporting event.
Cool.
I'll give
Well,
you that.
she's never been to a Chiefs game. She's telling me she's not ever gonna go, and I don't care. I'm taking her
Like she
to a
doesn't
game.
want to.
Just to the Chiefs game. She's intimidated because you see these NFL fights and all.
I'll
this
be
stuff.
honest, football I think is like it's a cool experience to have.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the sports that is the most better to watch on a TV versus in person because it's
Yeah.
so much harder to keep up with
Yeah. For sure.
in person.
That is a great point.
But it's an awesome experience to go see. That's not me saying
no.
not to
She
go.
has to go to Arrowhead before they move. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
But what is the opposite of that? What's the best sport to see in person?
I love going to the ballpark for baseball games.
Oh yeah,
The experience because it's not just the game. Like the
Yeah.
game, I like watching even more in person.
yeah,
But also a ballpark, even in Kauffman, which isn't that special of a stadium, it's not anything that unique,
yeah,
is still really fun.
for sure.
I would say baseball
And Kauffman is a great stadium. I love when the fountains go off.
or hockey.
That's what dude, we're locked in.
Because I think I think hockey and basketball, the speed and athleticism doesn't translate to the screen.
Yeah,
So basketball, that is the one thing that is better in person is you realize that these dudes are 6'8" and incredibly athletic.
oh yeah, it's a completely.
But
different thing.
unless you have really, really good seats, like you're so much farther than TV, and the
Yeah.
TV gives you good angles.
definitely.
But hockey is quick. It is underrated athleticism.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking baseball and hockey, basketball. We 100% agree on everything here.
Basketball is like there's pros and cons to each, and it is
Yeah.
probably pretty close to even. And then
Yeah.
football, I would always choose TV.
Yeah, I would as well. I think if I would never get Chiefs season tickets. Like
Yeah,
if I had 2 or 3 games, I would love that though.
that's a good way to put it.
But
All right, so
let's see what I passed up on here.
you kept food, gas, and sporting event tickets,
It's gonna take a lot for this one to be bad.
You
we'll see
cut
what happens.
concert tickets,
Yep.
flights,
Mhm.
hotels. I think those are all good calls. Clothes,
Clothes. That's fine.
which includes
Wait a second.
merch.
Wait a second.
It's the purchase of
I
any
see what you're talking-
clothes. You would
Man.
that is I sprinkled it in earlier. You said all I spend money on is food and gas. I said also merch, knowing that clothes was coming up.
Oh man, I didn't.
you could
think
have
about-
gone down to 0 overhead in
Now-
your life.
No,
you
that
had
that
waited.
is pretty incredible. That is a pretty big L.
Played you like a fiddle. Oh, and the
Yeah,
last
you
one,
did.
movie theater tickets. It was never going to get there. You were always cutting that.
Clothes. Okay. Yeah.
Not that it's wrong for you to have kept sporting event tickets, but if you saw this list ahead of time, I think you would have kept clothes.
Yeah, I probably would. I mean, thinking of it from that perspective, yes. Now, if you're talking about like if you consider clothes just inventory,
I'm saying the purchase of any
The purchase
clothing
of-
item.
Yeah, that's a L.
Yeah.
I didn't pick the number one, but everything else was good.
You picked
that still
you
sucks though. Dang it.
you picked
Oh, well.
3 of the top 4.
Yeah.
That one honestly is probably your best one because all 3 keeps are like good. The last one,
Dude.
the game room, I think you were just excited because you'd cut 3 and felt like you had wiggle room. I don't think the game room.
No.
In the moment, I thought it was a crazy pick. I set that one up to give you a bunch of cuts early,
Really?
hoping
Dang.
to see if what happened would happen. All of those went exactly like I thought it would.
Well, see, these games are tough because then I start thinking like it's actually possible that I could maybe somehow get free clothes forever. Because
Yeah.
I'm just over here thinking like, wow, I could sell shirts for $10 then, and we could be fine.
Yeah.
No, man, we would take over though. Wow,
Yeah. No, you would. That'd be nuts.
that would be.
I mean, it's not
crazy.
possible, so maybe we shouldn't go down.
Yeah,
this,
no.
but it is fun to think about.
Well, speaking of clothes, I have to say this: we have new hats coming this weekend at our event on Saturday. So pull up to Revive Nutrition, not Revive Collective. It's right next to Revive Collective. Unrelated. It just was a weird coincidence. I don't know how that worked out, but Revive Nutrition, we'll have our hats there, and we'll have our new rugs there. And the rugs are fire. There was slight pushback because some people were kind of surprised that the pricing's $125. Let me tell y'all, it's always been $125. If you're new here, they've sold out. We've sold 40 of them. They sold out in a total of 30 minutes from both drops. So I'm sorry, they're expensive to buy. My guy he is a dog.
Just is what it is.
He raised his prices big time. That's why we haven't done rugs in over a year.
Mhm.
But he brought it back to our old pricing just for this one time.
That's super clutch.
Yeah, and he did not have to do that. So really, guys, like they were if I would have
You're-
did a rug order when y'all were asking me to over this past year, I would have had to sell them for no joke over $300.
I mean, those
That was
those
not
are
happening.
just the quality of those are so high. Like you're not gonna
Yeah.
get a rug that is that nice for.
Well, and one rug takes 2 days to make, so it's
Yeah.
like
you're
don't
not
know.
gonna beat that price for something
Yeah.
of that level.
I'll promise you this: it's not my get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
It is. They are very expensive. I'm like, it's a lot to make these
Yeah.
things.
Well-
so yeah, sorry about the high price. It is what it is. If you want one though, the point is we'll have it there at Revive Nutrition as well on Saturday, and then we'll also have them at the event on Sunday at Green Street. So pull up.
All right. You want to switch the camera and
Yes,
go into the segment?
let's do it.
All right. So Foster actually sort of knew this episode topic going in. We normally haven't been doing that, but it doesn't really help him because I told him I just write down notes of thoughts all the time, of random thoughts. So I've now put together a group of them, and we're just going to talk about them. I'll say one, we'll talk about it as far as we want, and we'll move on. Foster's got the same thing. That's why earlier he was talking about his list. Next week will be his. It's just our at least for me, it's just random thoughts I have or quotes I see or whatever.
Yeah.
That also I talk about every week. This has got color motivation. So this week's was I don't have a favorite color because I realized that it was changing every week. And whenever someone asked me, so it's just I have favorites for certain things, but I don't really have a favorite. But
Yeah.
if I'm forced to choose one, I say orange because it's McKenna's, my wife's. And so it's sort of mine. And then I looked at what color with it looks the most like ADHD to me because most of this is just my random ADHD thought brain.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's the connection.
So this week is Spencer's random thoughts or random quotes. Next
Yeah.
week is my random thoughts and random quotes. And you already got one earlier today. So there you
Do
go.
you want me to start with a silly, goofy one or a little bit more serious of one?
You start wherever you want. Now, I will tell you, Macy's about to get home, so we might get interrupted here potentially. So maybe we start with a silly one.
All right, I'll start with my silly one. This is also the most recent one I put on there. I wish there were more appetizers at breakfast places.
Dude, our list
I'm
might
telling
be
you-
different.
No, that is one of the more
Okay,
unique
okay.
ones.
Wish there was more appetizers at breakfast places.
Yeah,
So give me some examples of what an appetizer. Because I just go and get a egg
my
burrito.
point is that there really aren't appetizers, and I
Yeah.
wish that there were.
Yeah, okay.
Like
that's-
other courses of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, there is sort of sides that are kind of acting like that. Like sometimes you get bacon. I mean, you'll get sides, but you don't get appetizers.
Yeah.
I want some people will do it where they'll get biscuits and gravy for the table or
Uh-huh.
something like that. I wish it was just more common for starters and then this. There's a place called Homegrown. Have you ever had that?
I don't think I
There's-
ever have.
I don't-
think I've even heard
I don't
of
even
that.
know if there's one local, but there's 2 in
Okay.
Wichita,
Oh,
and they
nice.
have a homemade Pop-Tart thing that's warm, but it's got it's like a pastry with the filling, And that is like a breakfast appetizer to me.
Yeah.
There's a place in Colorado me and McKenna have gone to a couple times that has a bunch of bacon themed stuff. They have a bacon flight where they have 6 different types of bacon, and you get a flight with a strip of each and then scissors to share it with the table. So it's like regular bacon, candied bacon, tahini bacon, barbecue. Like it's good. And just more stuff like that. I think breakfast places need more appetizers.
No, that's fair. We just went to First Watch the other day, which we never do stuff like that. But, you know, Macy's going back to school, so we were like, let's go to breakfast. It was on Sunday. And, dude, it was so fire. But that is true. There were no appetizers on there.
It's just not really a thing.
It's really not. That's a fair thought. That's a fair thought.
That's the foodie in me. I was also a bit hungry. I feel like I saw that somewhere. Like, I don't think I came up with that.
Yeah.
I think I saw someone say that thought, and then I thought about food all day and enough to write it down.
Well, there you go. I agree.
I think it'd be good.
Solid take.
Here's I'll say 2 quotes that kind of go together.
Okay.
From Alex Warren. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I know the
Musician.
name.
He sang "Ordinary." It was the really, really famous one.
Yeah.
He had a quote, and it was, "Why is the world still spinning when mine just stopped?" He was talking about when I think it was his dad. His dad died.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that, and it's so true when you deal. This got a little heavy pretty quick.
No, for sure.
But like it happens.
That's so true.
I think grief and death is where it happens the most. But even just getting bad news, it makes it like everything stops. All of a sudden, like nothing can happen. But then you look around, like when my grandpa passed, I've been lucky enough that I haven't dealt with like extremely close death. I've dealt with grandparent death, and then a couple months ago we had to put like our cat down, and those are really tough. But I've been lucky enough that I know people have dealt with way tougher. But when that happens, I'm like, oh, I just can't go forward. And then I go into work, and nothing's changed for them. Nothing should.
Yeah.
But it's just so hard to deal with that of like, how is everything normal? It's not normal.
Yeah, for sure. I remember the day I found out Kyle passed away, we went home and I was in my room just crying, just at the lowest point of my life. And I just hear a car drive by and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like people are still going on about their day. And I remember that day coming to tennis practice because your stuff was in my car and I dropped it off, and I remember dropping it off, and I think everybody like hugged me and stuff. And then we left and y'all had practice, and I was just thinking, how are we having practice today? Like, what is happening? I don't know. It is a really interesting thought. And you hear about that a lot with people that go through a very difficult time, like the day or the couple days or even the week. It just doesn't feel like the world should still be spinning, but it is, you know? That's the crazy thing. I don't know. That's a really good quote, though.
That might be the only day you and me have ever had a real hug, unless we hug at one of our weddings.
Yeah.
Which could be the case. But like that day was like an embrace, not like a dap up half hug.
Yeah,
but
I'll
like,
never forget that.
That's
Memorial
the
Park.
only like real, and I'm a huggy guy.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't come up.
I'm a hug-ins. I mean, it's in my name.
It's in the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess we probably did at one of our at least one of the weddings.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. We had plenty of hugs during wiffle ball after a home run.
so you never hugged me?
No, yeah, you had that one.
I did have one.
You had one.
Yeah, take that, Drew. Hit it over his head. Take that, Cooper. He pitched it.
And I'm telling you,
I still lost.
It was a great time though.
And that Grand Slam pushed it to extras.
Yeah, that was one of the craziest spring training games ever.
And I specifically remember everyone on my team telling me not to swing. just
Probably me.
You, Jack, and was Brady on that team?
No, it was Conlon.
I don't think
Zayden.
Honestly, I think Brady was not on either of the teams.
He was just helping out.
Because I think he was the third. But all three were like, dude, he's not going to throw strikes. Don't swing. And that was first pitch.
Yeah, just boom. Yeah. No, we probably hugged pretty good after that one.
Yeah, probably. The slightly related one. It's also talking about like bad news hitting you. This was either John or Hank Green. I get them, which brothers mixed up.
Yeah.
John is the author, Hank is the scientist, but made a good point that bad news happens all at once, but good news happens slowly. And that is like a good perspective on bad news.
Yeah.
Where like you get the bad news of what happened to Kyle and you get the bad news. But the brand being successful took years and years.
For sure.
And like you didn't just get told like, hey, now you have a successful business.
Yeah.
And
Still
so-
haven't been told that. Well, haven't told myself that, I
Okay,
guess you
okay,
could say.
that's fair.
People have said that, but yeah. Anyways, I get what you're saying.
But I think that's I like finding things that help with, I've talked about it on here. I think mental health is just as, if not more important to improving as physical health and actions
Yeah.
and perspective. So I try and find a lot of things that can help me change my perspective to be healthier. I also think I might think that way because I think my mental health and the way I look at things is what holds me back more often than my actions and what I do. Like it is more a mental battle.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I think it's more important because I need it to be. But
yeah.
I need to realize that no, not a ton of bad things are happening to me. It's just when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
The good news is like, oh, and all of a sudden I put in the time.
Mm-hmm. I feel like how we see ourselves is the biggest implication on how far we'll go, I guess. Because like for me, like I said, I get told the brand's successful, all this stuff all the time. But for me, I genuinely feel like we haven't even started yet. Like, I guess my dreams I had back when I was 21, just starting this, have all came true and then some. But the dreams I have now, we haven't even scratched the surface, you know?
Yeah.
So it really is all just a perspective. And I was talking to my dad about this today because today I just met with the top dog at Ford. It's like their, what's it called? Teamsters. It's their union. There it is. It's got the sticker on the table. The Ford Union, I'm not exactly sure the whole entire name of it, but this guy is the president of this Ford plant, biggest one in Kansas City, biggest one, they're saying in America. I don't have a fact check. That's what I was told by them. And I was talking with them about booking an event. The point is that it's just crazy how many things keep popping up. And I feel like that's because I've looked at myself and finally found that confidence that I'm capable of that type of thing. So
Yeah.
I feel like the second we're able to look at ourselves and believe that you are capable of being that guy, you could actually then become that person, where I think a lot of us, especially me at times, fall to imposter syndrome. So yeah, good things happen over a long time, definitely. And then that is true. Bad things, you hear the bad news and then you got to just,
It is
Overcome
rare
it.
that bad news is slow rolled. you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like other than, I guess, like people could have a breakup that like
yeah,
is towed down the line, or like
yeah.
work slowly gets worse. But most of the time, if you get bad news or something is bad, you just get it.
Well, even with the Connor situation, he's still in the hospital, so it might feel like it's bad news over time, but that's not how I see it. I just see it as there's going to be a day where he's out, and so if there ever was bad news in that case, it would be instant
Yeah.
if that's how you see it. Like
Yeah.
I don't see it. I see it as if something bad happened in that case, it would be just one day we find out, and that's when the bad news starts. Right now, I think it's just it's a tough journey he's having to go through, but he's going to make it out, So
Yeah.
even in that case, it's like you can't really say that it's bad news over time, I guess.
Yeah.
It sucks that he's in there, though. I really just got to keep praying for him because I'm going to see him tomorrow. So
That's
anyways,
This is a kind of a separate one. I'm realizing looking at these, a lot of these are anxious based. a lot of my, I think my inner monologue is fueled by that. But sometimes I feel like everyone in my life is an actor and is faking it. Like the Truman Show. And because sometimes I'm like, there's no way Foster just like was like, Spencer, I want you to host the podcast. Sometimes it's like, there's no way McKenna, of all the people in the world, chose me as her host. Like, I go down that rabbit hole, and sometimes it is less than that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this like customer at work is just someone who like can't. But sometimes it's the people closest to me. I
Yeah.
go, this can't be real.
hey, bud. That was
Hey.
perfect time for her to show up. We're in the middle of a great deep podcast.
Are you an actor or are we actually friends? She said she's an actress, and, and none of it's real.
How was your day? Good. That's not good. I'll talk to you later. We're rolling.
She said she's so glad she's home.
And she said she's an actress. Okay.
Yeah. And she said she doesn't like me very much. Do you ever feel like that, or is that bleeding into the Spencer's a very anxious person line of thinking?
I feel like there's a lot of fakeness in the world. I feel like a lot of the relationships that I deal with on a day-to-day basis are purely transactional these days, just because it's like, okay, I'm doing something for them. So they're obviously going to do something for me or at least be positive towards me or something like that. But if I was to switch my mind and maybe say, hey, I don't want to actually do this, their whole energy would change. Like, I don't know. I don't want to just throw a bunch of business out there, but there's a couple like negotiations where I feel like, we're just both kind of benefiting each other.
Yeah.
But if I pulled out, then like the friendship that it feels like we have would just not exist.
Yeah.
It almost feels purely transactional. But as far as like an actress or there he is.
That's definitely going to come across on this.
Yeah, that Maverick's out. As far as like, do I feel like people are an actress or in that case, maybe do I feel like when a school comes and asks me to speak, is that like, do they really want me to come? I don't feel that as much. And I've thought this when we've done episodes, bro. I feel like you don't know how great you are. And that is something that I would love to somehow help change because people, like I watched the episode when we had Jason McKenna. Remember Jay said those very nice things about me. When he was talking, I was like, I feel like he should be saying this to Spencer because you might not realize out of all the friends I've had in my life, you are the realest, like the realest, you know what I'm saying? And that means a lot to me. And I'm not the only one that could say that. There's so many people that can say Spencer is like the realest friend I've ever had. I mean, when I say the realest, there's a couple realists, right? Like I could say Jack Fields was the realist too, or Cooper even. But you're on that list of like, you're with them, bro. And like, I asked you to do this because I know that. And I know your intentions. And I know that if you're the face of this podcast eventually, I mean, even right now you're the host, but if it continues to grow and people see you as the face, that'd make my day, because I know that you represent it well. And I know that you are someone that I would want people to look up to, So I want you to know that about yourself.
That was not where I thought this was going to go.
Yeah, I just felt like I wanted to say that.
That felt nice.
Well, it's just facts. Like, it's just the truth.
And I do think the reality of like, I'm not in the Truman Show. Do you know what that movie is? The Truman Show?
Not for real.
Okay, so it relates to this. Jim Carrey was this guy who from a baby was in what he thought was the real world, but everyone was an actor. Like it was being filmed and broadcast across the world.
Yeah.
And he became like a grown adult before he figured it out. And then the end is he figures out whatever.
Yeah,
so everyone in his life was an actor. And like one point he got on a bus.
Yeah, I have maybe seen this.
He got on a bus and the little kid was like, is that Truman? And the mom's like, sit in your chair. And like she would have no way of knowing who he was.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that they're all actors.
Dang.
And like he started to see like people got into an elevator, but then it was just like the other side of the walls and it was like a break room or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm referencing as like,
yeah, no,
it's all fake. And the reality, again,
obviously
it's
not, but sometimes, yeah.
I tell myself, I'm like, what? Why did they say that about me specifically?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
is this a setup? Like, am I gonna get pranked or something?
Yeah.
And when you put it that way, maybe I have felt like that at times where when they asked me to speak at the Empower You Summit, and it was such a huge deal. I'm like, this is all based around me. Are you serious? But then again, I think I have some sort of like confidence where I'm like, yeah, they should do that.
I also think
maybe bad to say, but it's kind of true.
I also think that there are probably people who put on a facade when they reach out to you, but not in the same way that I'm thinking like someone's pranking me.
Yeah.
For you, it's like what you said. It's to get something out of it, and they know that the like start as a friendship, but also just a lot of people are going to be nice because of the message of the brand. But
yeah, for sure. It's very hard to navigate. I will say that
you definitely have people reach out to you that either take your kindness for granted and try and take advantage of it, or try and start a friendship or relationship with ulterior motives beyond just wanting to talk to you.
Oh yeah. One guy that I just love, his name's Hudson. He's my camera guy. We went to Iowa together. He came with me on the Iowa trip. I spoke at 3 places and he was my camera guy for all 3. Spent 18 hours in the car together. And this kid was a senior in high school. He like skipped school for 2 days to come on this trip. And he is one of the first people that I've let into my life in the past couple of years that I know is just such a genuine person. And I don't know, it's hard to find those people. But the other thing is I don't want to lose hope because I know they're out there. Like Hudson's proof of that. Hudson is proof that there are true good people out there with true good intentions. I love that kid. But yeah, dude, like I was saying about you though, I literally thought about that whenever I was thinking about you being the host. the intention and the goal is that this just grows and continues to get bigger. And I would love whenever you show up to a pop-up sometimes, or maybe like at our Christmas event, if it's like, it's Spencer the host, I need to get his autograph. And like that to me was one of the biggest reasons I chose you, because I want people to look up to you.
Well, I said, as someone who's known you for 20 years at this, also, I realized it hasn't technically been 20 years, but I don't want to say I've known you for 19, and 20 sounds so much better. So I just
we'll
started
say
saying it.
exactly.
I've known you for 20 years, and I told you, because I wasn't so involved from day one, I was hesitant to ask to help. And like, I clearly was just wanting to help as a friend of 20 years.
Yeah.
So I imagine there's a lot of people like that, like Hudson, who have skills that could help,
Yeah.
but they don't want to reach out to you because they don't want to come across the wrong way as well.
For sure. Yeah. Jack Fields even wasn't involved for the first probably year and a half.
Yeah.
And then now he just quit his job because he's starting his new job in October.
Mhm.
He quit a month early because he was like, bro, I just want to go everywhere with you in September. So me and Jack are going to spend a lot of time together
That's
in the
sick.
next month.
That's
yeah.
dope.
Yeah. So, but that's another example, like wasn't involved, very involved now. But
I hope everyone
nobody
knows.
was involved at first. It was just me at
Absolutely.
first. So
I hope
anyways.
everyone knows I did not join this podcast to try and become famous. I did this because I can't stop talking, and it just gives me an outlet to do that.
Yeah.
I would love if it got famous. I don't need it to. If
Yeah,
the only
no.
12 people who listen are 12 people I see anyway all the time, like my parents and the
Uh-huh.
bleeds, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. Would it be nice to walk into a room and have people I don't know say, "Look at Spencer"? Absolutely.
It's also not bad to want great things, you
right.
know?
Like, it's not my motivation, but it'd be cool to get there.
Definitely.
It's kind of where I'm at.
For sure.
I don't need it to be, but anyone would want that.
Definitely. Because then we're reaching more people.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't know. I don't ever feel like I'm really in a movie like that. But yeah, I don't
think it
even
is-
know if that was a long discussion.
I think it
about
is
that
a
one. That
mix
was good
of.
one.
I think it's a mix of three things. I'm very anxious.
Yeah.
I'm dramatic, so I'm a little bit of a center of attention, and I don't have a lot of self-confidence, which is kind of the anxiety mix. So it's like I don't believe that I deserve these things. I don't assume ulterior motives, but the back of my brain thinks about them.
Yeah.
And it's way more interesting to think I'm in a movie than I'm just living life.
I mean, that's fair.
That's fun.
That is fair.
But let's swap the camera one last time.
Yeah.
Get one cool
definitely.
run to the end.
Let's do it.
All right. This one, this is one I just saw on a TikTok, and I thought it was interesting. Why is happiness the only emotion we always expect to be feeling? So like you
That's so
would
good.
you would never expect your body, good or bad, to always be surprised or angry or sad, but we always strive to always be happy. You can't. That is an emotion, not a
Yeah.
state of being.
Yeah.
So I thought it was, again, talking about like changing the way you think. Part of life is that you have moments that you're not necessarily happy, but it's like setting yourself up to be content and like, I don't know. I don't know what more beyond that, but I just, that alone is just, why is happiness the only emotion we always expect to be feeling?
Yeah.
I thought it was really an interesting quote.
Yeah. I feel like I once related to that, but now if I'm happy or not, I'm not really that concerned. I just do the same thing regardless. Like if I'm happy, okay, I'm still waking up and trying to book events or going to an event or folding shirts. Like whatever has to be done is getting done regardless. So I don't feel that as much anymore. But when I was a teacher, I felt that a lot. I'm like, I'm just not happy. Dude, who cares you're not happy? You're impacting 400 kids in a day.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was a big realization for me after I left teaching, which today is the first day of school for Ray Peck. It could be my first day of my 4th year, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
It is crazy, dude. And seeing a lot of my kids go into their first day of 8th grade or 6th grade when they were a 2nd grader when I had them, like it's pretty wild, you
That
know?
is crazy.
So I was just thinking back today about my time teaching. If you would have asked me during my time teaching how I felt about it, I would have probably said, oh, it's horrible. I'm so unhappy. It was just such a lack of perspective, you know, such a lack of perspective. And I look back on those days as some of the best days of my life. When I left teaching with a couple goals in mind. Like I want to speak at these schools. The episode that is our best episode of all time that never came out, we had this conversation already, but you haven't heard it yet. So when I left teaching, I had like 4 to 5 schools in mind that were my bucket list schools I want to get. Northwest, West Nottoway, Ray Peck, East Middle School, South Middle School. It was 5 schools. I did all 5, 4 of them last year, 1 in 2025. Well, I guess I did. Yeah. Well, anyways, I've done them
You've done
all.
them all,
and,
yeah.
I've done them all, right? I've done them all, and I still miss teaching, though. I still miss it. And I guess the point I'm trying to make here is back when I was teaching, all I valued was, am I happy or am I not? You know, and I wasn't happy after a day where a kid was, you know, out of control, messing up all the games I set up and, you know, all the problems you deal with as a teacher. I wasn't happy a lot of the time, but who cares? I look back on that year as the best year of my life because every single day, even on the worst day when I wasn't happy, I knew I was still making an impact and making a difference.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I miss a lot. Macy's up there cooking. I don't know if y'all can hear this. Macy's blending something right now, but I think that's what I miss a lot about teaching is the fulfillment. Every single day, I knew whether it was a great day or a horrible day, there was purpose in it, you know. And when I was roofing, it could have been the best day ever. There was some purpose in it, but hardly any compared to teaching. So,
And I think it's important to differentiate between you don't always have to be happy versus you can't strive to be happy. If that
Yeah.
like you don't have to have your teaching job and feel so happy and fulfilled each day.
yeah,
But you also have to be aware when you're never being happy and when you're always being negative emotions.
yeah,
Like there's a difference. If you wake up, I don't know if there's anyone in the world, and if there is, it's not a lot of people who wake up every day so excited to go to work every single time they get to.
Mhm.
Like even the people with the best, even professional, like actors, professional athletes who are doing jobs that are like they're getting paid millions of dollars to do things that people dream of,
Yeah.
still have bad days. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's being a human. But if you're waking up and you're never having good days, your job is draining you, you can see how it's affecting you. Also knowing the difference between that, like finding the healthy emotion, like you said, if you wake up, you don't have to be like happy and excited for the day to go do your job. But if you look back in the last 3 months, you have felt miserable each day trying to do it. That is so much different.
Oh yeah, that's 100% true.
That's different than just ebbs and flows.
I think that's why they talk about the pursuit of happiness. I think that's what happiness is doing actions that make you happy or at least pursue or at least aimed at happiness. You know, there are going to be things that derail it and whatnot, but yeah, I don't know. That's a good conversation.
So
though.
I have a lot of, I like to plan. And I think part of it is this is what I want. How do I get there?
Mhm.
On small scale things. I think what I've learned is in my life, like I'm trying to be, I don't want to say the perfect version of myself, but like I have who I want to be. And I'm just saying like, oh, I want to be this person. And when I'm not, I'm like, oh, I'm disappointed. But I think a better way and what I'm trying to do better at is, okay, I want to be this person. What do I need to do to get there? And then day to day say, am I doing those things? Like,
Yeah.
let's say, so I do my laundry probably 3 times a week. Let's say I want to be the type of person who my laundry basket never gets above like the top of the hamper, which
Yeah.
it does if I go 4 or 5 days without, and that's fine.
Uh-huh.
But let's say I want to be every 3 days. How do I build a habit and then what does that day to day look like? So that means every day, if it's at this point, I need to start a load of laundry. And then in a week I go, oh, did I not get to that point? And what's the day to day look like? As opposed to I get to a month from now and it gets above the top and I'm like, oh, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Break things down. And like, that was a terrible example, by the way, but I
get what you're
but
saying.
I realized I committed and had to stay with it. But
Yeah.
like you see the end goal that
Yeah.
like you want to get to a point, but break it down to day to day. One, because you can see if you're actually making strides, you're not going to judge yourself. And it gives you something to do and think about day to day. When you're just focused on the big picture, that's when the moment you don't realize you're in the good old days till you're not in
For
that
sure.
kind of stuff. I think it helps you enjoy the moment, enjoy the process so much more.
I also think we don't honestly know what makes us happy all the time. Because I remember being a teacher thinking about, oh my goodness, if I quit and do roofing, I cannot wait to make my own schedule. I can't wait to be able to drive all around the city and, you know, climb roofs, which I was right about that. I do love climbing roofs. That adrenaline rush is fire. But what I learned was I don't like making my own schedule as much as I thought I would. It's nice for the brand purposes, but if this brand didn't exist, I would not like making my own schedule. I'd rather just have
The structure.
Be here. Yes, 100%. And driving around the city, it was fun for a month. And then it was like,
And
oh
then you
my
get tired of the
goodness.
windshield time.
Yeah, I gotta drive to North Kansas City to look at one roof. Oh, and I've listened to every song ever made like 50 times.
Yeah.
Like it just music wasn't. I still don't really like music a whole lot right now because I've listened to everything so many times from driving so much. I don't know how semi truck drivers do it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
podcasts.
exactly
Audiobooks, stuff that's longer.
they need to find us. But yeah, I just think that we think we know what will make us happy, and then it's funny whenever you're like, oh wait, this actually is not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways.
I'll do one more quote. I think this is good to close it out. This is a quote. I don't remember where I saw it, but it says, "You can't miss something if you don't go anywhere." And I thought this was a good, again, talking about the way to look at things.
Yeah.
There are friendships that I had in high school or college that I really cherish. And I look back and I go, oh, I miss that person.
Yeah.
I can't miss that person and that era of life and that friendship and this and that if I didn't grow to be somewhere else.
True.
Because I only missed that friendship from college
Yeah.
because that person lives in Wichita. And I grew and I knew that I needed to move back to Kansas City to get a home, to build the life and the family I want around here.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't grow, if I settled, if I'd stayed in the college town, which is not as good for my adult life and where I'm at, then yeah, sure, I'd still have that friendship and I'd still like it. But then I'd also be missing out on other things. You have to go somewhere to miss something.
True. I had to leave teaching to miss it, I guess, because
Yeah.
I literally thought I was not going to miss it. I could not wait for the last day of school. And then the last day of school happened. It was like the saddest day ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that is a good quote. And then also, you would not miss it if you didn't love it. So the price of loving something is missing it when it's gone. So you got to think, was it worth the love or not? And I would always say yes.
That is a quote that I really like for grief is like and is the cat. When we
Yeah.
had to put Willow down, I kept telling myself like, how lucky are we? How lucky am I to be so sad
Yeah,
about not having Willow anymore?
for
Because
sure.
that was a cat worth loving so much to miss this much.
Yeah.
And it's the same with anything. Like you clearly, even in the moment, school was a lot. You
Yeah.
clearly enjoyed it, and there were clearly things that were good for you and clearly things you loved because you miss it right now.
Yeah.
Like it validates the emotions about it. You go, do I miss it? Yeah, of course you do. Did I really like what I was doing that I spent years going to college for and want to do? Yeah, of course you do. That's why you feel the way you do now.
yeah.
But you had to go somewhere to realize that. Because if you'd stayed in teaching, not that you'd hate it right now, but you would not think about it the same way you do. Like,
No,
that's just
and
what it is.
I know I would always say, oh man, I should have took that roofing job when I had the chance. That
Yeah.
would have been so great to all the things that I thought I don't know. Life is fun, you know. It's fun to learn and it's fun to grow. And those are all great quotes. I liked that.
I do think I've done a better job as I've gotten older of I don't regret things anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like playfully think of like what would have happened if I made different decisions.
Yeah,
But I'm okay with where I'm at, and even if I'm not, I can't change it anyway.
for
Like,
sure. There's
If
no
I'm
point in regretting.
if I'm pondering a decision now, sure, I can think about where they're going to go. But when I decided to be a communication major in college, I shouldn't think back because I thought about being an elementary school teacher, thought about being a therapist. I now can't regret be like, oh, I wish I was a therapist because unless I'm going to go back to school, can't change it now.
Yeah.
No reason to worry about it. And I like the degree I chose and everything, but there's no reason to regret it. Like, why
For
would
sure. Definitely. I have some things that I've always said I have no regrets. I have some things that I did this year that I'm not going to open up about yet.
Yeah.
It'll happen later in the year. I've been planning on how to share this information. I did something dumb though this year, let's just say that. And I've regretted it until about the last couple of weeks. I've started to really not regret it as much and really sit down and realize all the lessons I learned from it.
Mhm.
And long story short, made a dumb decision that was really bad, but I think the lessons I learned from that have prevented me from making way worse decisions
Absolutely.
that just presented themselves a couple months ago that I
Because-
said no to, that I would have probably said yes to if I never said yes to that and it went bad. You know?
And I think that's the biggest thing is like, even when things go horribly wrong, like who cares? Like you can't
Yeah.
change it. So why would I beat myself up about making a decision that I can't change? Like even if you made that mistake, cool, you made it. What did I learn from it? How will I not make that mistake again? Let's move on. I mean, you've talked on a bunch of episodes. We have just in the last couple months about like failure. You learn more from failure than from success.
Oh, yeah.
And so making mistakes, don't regret them, just learn from them.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%.
I think it was a good episode. Glad
I
to
did
have you
too.
back.
Yep. I'm still a little rusty, guys, but I'm
you
starting
did.
my speaking gigs next week, so hopefully I'll be really dialed in.
Gotta
now.
get into the kick of it.
Yeah.
So next week will be Foster's version of this. He's going to come with some of
Oh,
his
yeah.
stuff. So
Let's go.
I get to kind of be a passenger one last time, probably. Maybe the last time, unless this becomes a common thing. We start bringing more of these. But
Yeah.
comment what 3 you would have kept and what 5 you would have cut. Comment your random thoughts and quotes, things you maybe want us to talk about. Interact. And before we go, what's the free shipping code?
We're going to keep it YLIWL26 for one more week because that news story is still kind of circulating a little bit.
That makes sense.
So
So-
next week we're changing it, though.
Yeah.
And also no one uses it that often, so
Yeah.
that's cool. Most of the
Cool.
people that watch this know they can just come over and get stuff.
Don't need the free shipping anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
thank you all for listening, and we will see you on next week's episode of the Underwater Fly Zone podcast.
Peace.